Showed off Shaltir, Momon, Ainz. Everything's been going pretty good. It's time to show off Gamma though. Gamma was the one character that I never managed to get the last time this crossover was a thing. And this was a character that I hated missing out on because she was so freaking good. Back then, Gamma had so much stuff going for her. A crazy leader damage buff skill, magic res down on the super art, 50 art gauge to everyone on the team as long as they're a demon. Like, you couldn't just not love this unit. She was a great support unit in sustain teams. She was a great nuking support character. She was just a very solid all-around supporter. Well, this time around with the rerun of Overlord, your boy managed to walk away with Gamma. So you already know what time it is. It's time to break her down, talk about her, and see how strong she actually is, and some crazy team comps we can come up with for Gamma. She has an ability, like I mentioned before, that allows her to give all demon allies on her team 50 art gauge. In terms of the kit, it's pretty unique. She was actually the first character to be able to buff up a leader unit. You see with the skill, you buff up demon units damage by 30%. The art buffs up all allies art gauge by 20, but if you're a demon, you get 30, and it reduces magic damage taken by 30%. The true art is an all stats buff, along with buffing up the leader units arts damage and reducing the leader units damage taken by 30% for 25 seconds. Also, this arts damage buff is a massive 200%, and then the super art is a massive magic res down that does take a minute to come out. In terms of the slots, we have 2 5-star supports and a 4-star magic. If you want to know best in slot here, for the support items, you're going to be running anything that's going to be AoE Archgen to supply your team with as much art gauge as possible, especially in sustain teams. If you are nuking with this character though, you're going to want to be running stuff like Type 0 or Axis. Speaking of Type 0, make sure you farm it because the event for Rags is coming back very soon, and you need to do that to get your Type 0s. With the 4-star magic, you want to run anything that's going to be reducing a specific elemental res, or you want to run something that's just buffing up your team's damage or her own damage or whatever else. For the crest on this character, you want to be running art gauge up, and I would say equipment CT. Equipment CT is going to benefit you more in sustain fights than it will in nuke situations, but art gauge up definitely is a must no matter if you're nuking or if you're sustaining. Now it's time for our animations, and actually Narberal's animations I haven't really paid too much attention to before. I know, crazy, but let's see what they are. We have the attack skill here, just a little slice with the dagger. The skill, a little zappy with the finger. We got the art, which, oh, I'm starting to remember this from the last time. Okay, I'm starting to remember this, yeah, okay. The true art is just more zaps and then double hits. Okay, nice. And then the super art, if I'm not mistaken, this is where she flies into the air and then does, yeah, that. And then it would be really cool if the moon appeared behind her. I saw a gif of her doing this exact attack where the moon is behind her and all that. That'd be really sick if it was like a stage thing. In terms of rating on this, I don't know what I gave it last time, maybe like a 7. And yeah, I'd probably stay about that. I'm not really too impressed. Also, I'll say it again. Where is the special artwork for the old characters? So Gamma allows characters to do big damage, very similar to that of Momon, and because of that, well, we gotta use Gamma with some of the hardest hitters in the game, like Siger Zero. This is the team comp we're gonna be using to take on the special EX of the Overlord event. As you can see with the equips we got and everything else, yeah, big damage here. We pretty much pop off with everybody. We're going to be using Gamma's True Art, also Star God Lisa's True Art to give us another 150% damage buff to light allies. Of course, the boy's Draken is here for the physical damage, and once all this goes off, like it does, yeah, you can see how hard it hits. Mind you, no crits at all on this team, just nothing but 100% defense ignore. Bring up that detail screen, and 7 melee with Siger. But to be honest, that's kind of a little weak, you know what I mean? So let's try Special EX Hyper. Special EX Hyper is a bit more challenging because Momon has a lot of HP and also is able to put up barriers and everything else. So it gets a little dicey, just a tiny bit dicey. Not too much though, but we pop off with everything again. Make sure we use our Ether Recast, go off with the Shaltir Parasol, get the light res down from everything, pop off with the Super Art from Siger and everybody else. And yeah, big damage just like that again. Surprisingly, Momon didn't die instantly. Siger with a total of 18 million damage. I wish there was a one-shot event in this game where you could just go into it and then you have like maybe 30 seconds to do as much damage as you can, and then you see the result screen, because I feel like Siger with this exact setup could hit for so much damage. But of course, Siger wasn't the only character we had to show off with this type of power. We had to also go with the one and only Demon Lord Rimuru. Of course, fighting Momon again, just because, I mean, hey, very simple fight. He has a lot of HP, able to show off a lot of nuking potential very easily, and it's the team we went with. Look at the equips though. The equips are crazy. Either way, we pop off with everything, make sure we got all of our super arts for everybody, go on with the super art with Ainz, and then also Star God, and then yeah, we're going crazy just off the bat right there with all of the super crits and everything. Look at the super crits. 2 milli on those super crits there. That is ridiculous. 20 million damage from Demon Lord Rimuru. Like, are we serious? In that amount of time? Come on now. That we all know he's the GOAT, but just proving this point more. And then just because I also decided to do a little nuke with the man Gabi Maru. We don't really get to see him too much anymore, but I was like, you know, I want to do it. We went against the takedown battle for this because in the Momon fight, he doesn't really take damage unless you're a demon. So yeah, we went to the takedown battle and wanted to really pop off with everybody. Made sure we had crazy amounts of damage ups and everything. And yeah, it was a nasty time here. Chloe with the fire res down, the damage ups from Narberal, the crit damage buff from, of course, Ainz, and then also the crazy super art from this man, Gabi Maru. Yeah, lots of damage here. Man's doing his thing like he always has. So when it comes to Gamma kind of buffing up characters, she's second to none. She's so freaking good in that regard. And that's like one of her main strengths is that she is able to supercharge one unit. And now with characters like Momon, she has someone that she can partner up with to really buff up a singular character on a team. I guess the only negative part about Gamma is that she doesn't do stuff for the team. Like, it's only ever for like a singular unit, unless we're talking about like her art or her magic res down on her super art, right? But pretty much her major buffs are only to a single unit. If it was to the entire team, it would be absolutely ridiculous. She would be one of the best characters in the game by far. But for right now, she's still extremely good. Easily a S tier unit, and she's definitely not going anywhere, man. So yeah, if you got her, be extremely happy you did. Your boy actually got 2 of her because I got one from Alk, and then I used my tick, and I got another one. But hey, you know, it is what it is. Either way, if you guys have Gamma, go crazy with her. Oh, another thing is too, if you love raid nuking and, you know, getting high scores in raids, Gamma is a very good character to buff up your nukers in that game mode as well. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you all again for coming out. If you enjoyed this video, how check out either one of the other videos popping on the screen right now. Great content, guarantee you love them. Oh, and one more thing before you leave. Don't forget to drink water.